how's he doing? How
He looks good in practice, but just for his safety and his future health and his career, we're going to be prudent as far as making sure we go at the right pace, bring him back at the right time, and it's the right thing to do. All the doctors are saying it, and I know it kills him because he's chomping at the bit. But you know, I've seen so many players have this same injury in their career, and you know, you think you're back, but if those fibers are not grown back and matured, you know, in the right way, the least little torque could pull it out, and then he's out the rest of the year. So we want to be smart. Again, it's next man up. Everybody's got to man up and get their job done, and we've been doing that. We stubbed our toe the last 3 games, but now we got to get re-energized. And hey, he's not here, and we got to play like it.
So right now the plan is to have practices like in between games.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then go through those.
Right, exactly.
Did you sort of think you might be back for Thursday?
I was hoping, Michael, fingers crossed, toes crossed, but realistically, I knew when he, you know, if there was a question or if there was a little doubt, we were going to be, you know, patient and not rushing back. But you know, selfishly and from a coach speak, yes, I want him to come back, but it's the right thing to do, and I totally understand it. I'm on board with it, and I agree with it.
Does it have more to do with the injury itself, or just getting him back into his
a little bit of no? It's getting him back in condition and make sure it's stronger to a point where he can take the rigors of a game situation. It's totally different going out here and going through these drills and in practice than it is you get out there in the game and going at that speed. So it's more to get him ready, get him in game shape, just to double check and make sure.
Dwane, even if it's 2 or 3 games, does seeing the end of the tunnel help the rest of the players in terms of performance?
It should, but again, we can't worry about who's not here. And as much as we love DeMar, he's not playing. So we got to prepare for Charlotte, Boston, Detroit, all those games of who's on the floor, who's in uniform. It shouldn't be about who's coming around the corner, who's coming in. It's going to be about us. That's the way we've approached it, and we got to continue to do that.
You talked about learning so much just watching the games from the bench and from on TV. Could you see that in talking with him?
No question. And talking to him, hearing him say the same thing, talking about our tempo. We're scoring a lot of points, but yet and still we know playoff basketball the game is going to slow down. Now, how do you execute? How do you make that next play? How do you make that next pass when the game slows down? As long as the game's up and down, we're doing a good job of scoring. But again, we're suffering on the defensive end. So we got to make sure we get the game at the right tempo, and that's what DeMar, he is seeing that. He is seeing that, and he understands that, hey, we got to get at a pace that's conducive to playing good defense. And that's the difference between our team last year. And believe me, I love scoring. I love seeing the ball go through the hole. But it's to the detriment of our defense right now.
Since the defensive problems really started right around when he left, it's easy to draw a straight line. But how much of that is his absence and how much of it is other issues that would be there even if you were?
That's a good question, Eric. I think to the point where it's more the style of play offensively. We're more up and down, free-flowing, random basketball, flow basketball than we were with him there. He probably wouldn't admit this, but we do slow it down to get it to him in the post, and that helps us, you know, rest on offense, so to speak. And it slows the pace down, and it does give our defense a chance to get back. He gets to the foul line, which the game stops. You're able to get back and get your defense set. So it's a multitude of things. There's no one person, no one problem one guy defensively. It's a systemic, you know, style of play more so than it is one guy. And if I could put my one finger on it, believe me, I'd substitute that guy in a minute. But it's more of a style of play, and but we're working on to fix it, and we will get it fixed.
Is it almost a trickle-up theory where guys are playing more minutes and just having DeMar back settles everything down like that?
It does, no question. And, you know, that's, you know, as much as it puts a lot of pressure on other players, everybody has to bear a little bit more load than they're used to. Especially Kyle is logging a little bit more minutes, more load of having the pressure to score, where now you have one other guy in the mix who can score, who's an all-star, who has the ability to get the free throw line. So they can't just key in on Lou, Kyle, Gravis, in those situations. So it's a trickle-down effect from a standpoint of, like I was telling Terry Stotts the other night, it's like him losing LaMarcus Aldridge for how many games, and we've lost an all-star. So, again, there's no excuse whatsoever. Believe me, I'm not standing here because, again, I'm totally believing we got to play next man up. And but again, you asked me the question. That's part of our defensive woes, or whatever you want to call them.
Coach, should it be surprising that statistically it's been more of a defensive a loss defensively than offensively for a guy who scores like DeMar does? Should it be surprising to us?
But again, you got to understand the root of the problem more so than the style. Not saying that DeMar's he plays defense with his offense, and that's kind of oxymoron, so to speak. But again, he controls the game with the ball. The game slows down. You can look at Chicago. Chicago's defensive numbers are down too because they're playing faster. There's a style of play you got to play, and everybody's reaching for it right now, and we are too. That's conducive to our defense. And again, we've scored a lot of points, and we've been winning with that style of play. But again, we're not going to abandon it totally, but we got to find a balance, and that's what we're striving to do.
When you look at bringing him back, is the Atlanta game any kind of thing? I'd like to have him a game ahead of that or two. Is there anything?
I'm not going. You have to ask the doctors that. I can't ask. I don't know.
As far as testing, bringing DeMar back, and this is the top team in the East. Is that game anything special to you looking forward?
Nothing special. There's nothing special about that. It is the top team, but we're not going to rush a guy back just to get him back for one game. And his career is too important for one game for me, and should be for him.
Dwane, DeMar said that he was 100% basically. The doctors said he was 100%. He just needed practice. So who makes the final decision?
The doctors will. I mean, he and the doctors will work together. It's out of our control as an organization. Again, it's about his health more so than us winning a game or trying to rush him back. And I'm all on board for that. And again, his career is far more important than to make sure than us winning one game or a couple of games.
Dwane, does it say more about your profession or Toronto that you're the longest tenured coach in the city?
No, it doesn't. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I appreciate the opportunity to lead this organization. I always will. I do it in a humble way. I'm going to be coaching somewhere, whether when I'm 60 or 70 years old. I'm almost at 60, by the way. So, but I'm going to be coaching somewhere. But again, I cherish the opportunity. I did the first day I got here. Still do. It's a great organization, but our profession is about winning and producing, and we're not there yet. We're still in the process of getting there and getting it done. But I appreciate the opportunity.
You were very vocal yesterday in your support for Kyle making the All-Star team. Did you see the tweet from the Prime Minister kind of
I heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard about it, and he should. Kyle should make the All-Star team. Again, I love our fans, and if they're that gracious, get out and vote or get on the computer and vote however they vote. I don't even know how they do it. But again, I'm going to be really upset at our coaches if they don't vote. If the fans don't vote him in, the coaches don't vote him in, we have an issue, because if Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler's two guys are not all-stars, there's something wrong with our system. And because that young man I've been with a lot of great point guards, Jay Kidd in Dallas and Gary Payton in Seattle. Kyle ranks, he has a style of play a lot like, he has an effect on the game like those guys do. And he is an all-star. And I'll tell anyone who asks that question.
I didn't know you had Mr. Harper on speed dial there.
Who?
Mr. Harper.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish he'd have my taxes on that time. But no. No, it's great to the Prime Minister. But again, that shows the interest of the fans, have in basketball, which is great. Again, Kyle deserves to be an all-star, bottom line.